first time? Oh, nice. Who's been here before? Oh, this is very exciting. You've been here before. Why are you clapping? Oh, okay. Listen, as you may or not know, I'm on a lot of painkillers. I didn't realize this. You get addicted to Oxycontins like so fast, like overnight. So just bear with me this evening. I know you guys are wondering like what happened to me. I was at my brother's wedding in Indonesia, and he fell on me on the dance floor, and that's what happened to me. My brother was so drunk at his wedding reception that multiple times he asked me, "Where are we?" I was like, "Your wedding, bro." So it's a promising start to the marriage. It's really a cautionary tale, Don't get drunk with my brother. Yeah, and I didn't really realize that like anything was wrong with me, and then this is details that are unnecessary. I know it's too tall for me, Gary. Usually I wear heels, not today. Thank you. So I went to Singapore and I kind of thought like, oh, the doctor's just gonna like wrap my foot up and like give me some painkillers. And the doctor was like, oh, you like fractured your ankle and you tore your meniscus in your knee, but like the real problem is that you have a rare genetic bone disease. And I was like, why are you telling me this? I was like, this is why nobody wants to go to the doctor. Like, just let me get hit by a car. Like, just want to go quick. Anyways, on that uplifting note, I want to thank you guys for coming to Shoot 'Em Up. The show where you see the evolution of story from story to script to screen live. It's a 3-part process with one show a night spread out over 3 months. First, we have true stories told live. Those stories are then paired with screenwriters who have a month to go away and write short screenplays based on the stories that they were paired with. Then we see live radio-style readings of those scripts, and filmmakers, tonight we're going to see this, get randomly paired with those scripts, and then the filmmakers will create short films based on those scripts or inspired by them. And that's the process. This is not something you can or will see anywhere else. Usually all we see is the end product and not the process. Tonight, we're gonna see the second part of the process, the scripts. We've got 6 amazing scripts for you tonight, so let's get started. First up, I am going to. I've got a plan, Gary, don't worry. We've got Birthday by Thi Nguyen. This is based on a true story told by Eno Inwek. Eno is super excited to spend a day biking with her friend, who frequently disappoints her, been there. And after planning for a month, the day of the trip, Eno's friend reveals that she doesn't know how to ride a bike. What a sneaky bitch. T, do you want to come up and pick the filmmaker for your script, please? While we're waiting for T to come up, I will introduce our wonderful actors this evening. Dave Child.
Hi.
Sarah Melick. Alex Young. Lorena Linares. Aubrey Marquez. Michelle Miracle. Bill Ratner, and Shayna Rose.
Also, it's called B-Day, so there's no birthday, just FYI. Thanks. Okay. The director is...
All right, M. Vincent Hayes.
Yay.
This is your lucky night. Okay, B-Day. It's okay, everything's fine.
B-Day, Bikes, Baklava, Birds by Thi Nguyen. Interior bedroom early morning, close up on a bedstand. The phone is ringing, and we see someone named Eno is calling. Zooming out, there's a digital clock that reads 6:39 a.m. After a few obnoxious rings, a hand reaches around the bedstand as it finally lands on the phone. The hand grabs the phone and pulls it inside the bed covers. The call is answered by Antonia, 30, free-spirited and sassy. Antonia is talking to Eno, 32, responsible and opinionated, who is on the speakerphone.
We're improvising. What?
Where are you? We're supposed to meet up 40 minutes ago.
Sorry, I had a long night yesterday.
The bike shop opened up early for us.
I understand that, but I really need to get to sleep. I really didn't get to sleep until just now.
Cut to interior bedroom early morning. Flashback, a few hours ago. We see Antonia in bed, wide awake, on her side, facing away from her window. Her digital clock reads 4:10 a.m. She's anxious, scared, and nervous. Zooming out from her bed, we see a big black crow sitting on a branch just outside the window. It's staring in with its beak almost touching the glass. Back to the present. Underneath the covers, we see Antonia shutting her eyes as the phone lies right next to her.
I made a whole array of baked goods for you, even baklava. And you know how much time I spent on baklava?
I love baklava, and I really appreciate you, but it was really hard to get to sleep last night.
I swear sometimes, Antonia, you're such a flake.
I'm not flaking out this time. I'm still down to go to Venice, just not this early. I'm not much of a morning person, okay?
But I gave you a month's notice.
Well, you didn't ask.
And with that, Antonia hangs up the phone and pushes it out from under the covers. Exterior bike shop, afternoon. Eno and Antonia are finally in Venice, and Eno's looking over the bikes while Antonia is looking towards the beach.
You know, if we had gotten here earlier, my beach cruiser would have still been here.
Huh? You said something?
Nothing. What bike do you want to rent?
I'm not renting anything.
What do you mean?
I'm not biking.
Why not? This is biking day.
No, it is a beach day.
I've been talking about biking for a month.
And I've been for a year. I haven't seen the beach in a year.
Well, we can do both.
No, we can't.
Why not?
I can't ride a bike.
I've been talking about biking for a month. You said you were down.
You've been talking about Venice and Malibu for a month. I was down to go to either Venice or Malibu or both.
I brought baklava for today.
And I brought my beach sunglasses.
She takes out her big Hollywood-style sunglasses from her bag and waves them in Eno's face.
You're 30 years old and you don't know how to ride a bike? Why not?
I don't want to talk about it.
She puts her sunglasses on to hide the emotion on her face as a hard memory comes up. Cut to exterior park, afternoon. Flashback, 25 years earlier. Antonia is 5 years old, wearing a helmet and is learning to ride a bike. Antonia's dad, 35, very loving, spoils his daughter, holds the back of her seat as she rides around slowly.
Don't let go, Daddy. I'm scared.
Don't worry, honey. I won't let you go until you tell me to. Just find your balance.
Don't ever let go, Daddy.
You won't learn if I don't let go. Besides, don't you remember what's waiting for you after this, huh?
Baklava.
Ah.
Okay, Daddy, let go.
You sure, honey?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Antonia's dad lets go of the bike as young Antonia rides with ease by herself.
Daddy, look, I'm doing it.
She rides past a tree with a bird's nest. Suddenly, a big black bird soars down and flaps right in front of Antonia's path.
Oh, I can't see. Stop, bird. Stop, Daddy.
She loses her balance and the bike tips over. Antonia's on the ground. Back to the present. The ladies are still in the bike shop arguing. A bike shop employee overhears them.
This entire time, I've been planning this day, and you tell me you can't ride a bike until now?
You didn't ask.
Now what are we gonna do?
The bike shop employee steps in to offer a solution.
I got an idea. You can rent a tandem bike. Only one of you will do the pedaling while the other sits in the back.
Eno and Antonia look at each other. Antonia gives a what the hell shrug, and Eno reluctantly agrees.
Fine.
Exterior bike path continuous. Eno's pedaling up an incline. She's crouched low, sweating, breathing hard, working hard. We see Antonia leaning back, wearing her sunglasses with a relaxed smile on her face. She's waving to people. Eno looks pissed. As it begins sliding down the hill, Antonia puts her hands up in the air.
Woohoo! I feel like Lance Armstrong. Bye.
They're at the bottom of the hill, and Eno's back at pedaling.
Oh, that was fun. Let's find another hill and do that again.
Shut up.
What? What did you say? I can't hear you back here.
We're heading back.
What? Why? The wind in our hair, the smell of the ocean, this is awesome.
I'm hungry.
But we're not even halfway to Malibu.
Then you pedal then.
All right. We'll go back. You said you had baklava, right?
Exterior beach continuous. Both ladies are on a beach towel. Antonia's napping on her stomach with her Hollywood sunglasses still on. A Tupperware of half-eaten baklava is open, lying right next to Antonia. Eno slyly takes one baklava at a time and timidly places them around Antonia's body. Eno silently snickers to herself and sits back. A few minutes pass, and we see a couple of seagulls pecking around Antonia. One flaps its wings right in her face, waking her up.
Birds! Ah!
Antonia's jumping up and down, flailing her arms wildly. The seagulls fly away. Eno puts her hands up in the air.
Woohoo! Why didn't you tell me there were birds here?
You didn't ask.
How could you do this to me?
You okay? I mean, what's the matter? They're just birds.
You just don't understand.
Interior living room, late evening, flashback, 23 years earlier. Antonia's 7 years old. She's sneaking down a staircase into the living room. She climbs on top of the couch to reach a Blockbuster VHS on the top shelf. As she places the videotape into the VCR, we see the title of a movie, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Back to present.
I never knew you were so afraid of birds. I mean, you didn't even tell me.
You didn't ask.
Fade to black.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to the first mic, Gary. B-Day by Thi Nguyen! Yeah, I feel like that was a very relatable story on many levels, you know? Sometimes you plan a beautiful day for your best friend, you make baklava, and you think that you're gonna go bike ride to Malibu, and then they tell you at the last minute that they don't know how to ride a bike. It's like, you know, sometimes you move in with your boyfriend because you think that you're gonna get married and have kids, and you combine all your earthly possessions, and then your boyfriend tells you he doesn't know if he ever wants to get married or have kids, and then it's like, instead of baklava, you're like, oh, I haven't had solid food in 3 months, and I've completely stopped pooping so you might find me more desirable. Anyways, next up, 3 Years Till Tokyo by Brian Brown. Brian, come choose your filmmaker. Based on a story told by Greg Walloch. Deciding to try to get in better shape, Greg, who has cerebral palsy, is approached by a guy at the gym who believes he can fix Greg's legs with the power of Jesus. I read it. Go for it. Natalie Rodriguez. Do you want to say anything about your script, right?
Yeah, so I realized I was trying to figure out, and when I was in like college and film school, I wrote more than 200 short films, and I haven't done any of them since because nobody will pay me to do that. So this was like a really great treat to get back to it. So thank you guys for doing that. Thank you to the storytellers for like trusting us with your stories, and thank you to these actors, and especially thanks to Greg, who told like an amazing story that I was thrilled to do this. And anything good in this script is because of him. Anything bad is because of me.
3 Years Till Tokyo.
Interior bathroom, night. A man stands in front of the mirror brushing his teeth. This is Ben. It's late and he's getting ready for bed. He's wearing nothing but his underwear. There's a pair of crutches leaning against the sink. Ben has cerebral palsy. He's always on these crutches, but let's not make a big deal about it. Right now he's got bigger concerns anyway. Specifically, Ben's looking intensely at his own reflection. He turns to the side, pushing his stomach out as far as he can, running his hand across it. He's not happy with how he looks. Exterior Los Angeles street, day. Ben walks down the street, headphones over his ears. He's in a world of his own, caught up in the music and seemingly unaware of the world around him, including the gym right there. But wait, Ben stops and turns. He walks back to the gym, pulls headphones from his ears, and looks up at the place. Interior gym, later. Now changed into distinctly new-looking gym clothes, Ben walks amongst the gym equipment. The place is crowded with people sweating to their morning workouts. Ben stops to watch a man wrapped up in a machine that looks far more suited to torture than any sort of exercise. The man twists and grunts, and Ben is terrified. Ben approaches a rack of dumbbells. Not wanting to overwork himself, he starts somewhere in the middle, but when he goes to pick up the dumbbell, it doesn't budge. He moves down to a lighter dumbbell, still nothing, and down another. Finally, onto the third dumbbell, and manages to lift it, only to immediately top over with the weight of it. Interior gym, later. Ben sits on a leg abductor machine. There's not much weight on it, and he's certainly straining, but Ben is determined to get through this. Ben winces as he squeezes his legs together when...
I just wanted to say how inspiring this is.
Ben looks up to find a woman standing over him.
It's really great what you're doing.
Oh, thanks.
But, how much longer are you going to be doing it?
Oh, sorry.
Interior locker room, later. Wrapped in a towel, Ben awkwardly makes his way to the locker room. He's trying his best to both avoid looking at anyone and to keep his towel on. But there's no avoiding the handsome man staring directly at him. This is Mason, and he's clearly watching Ben. He's making no effort to hide it. In fact, when Ben makes eye contact with him, Mason nods.
Hi. Hi.
Ben hurries to his locker, Mason watching as he goes. Exterior gym, later. When Ben walks out of the locker room, Mason's waiting for him. He's leaning against the wall, his bag slung over his shoulder like some kind of gym ad.
Hey, sorry about that in there. I was just wondering, do you have any interest in grabbing a protein shake?
Sure, I'm always up for some protein.
Ben has never had a protein shake in his life.
Excellent. I'm Mason, by the way.
Ben.
Mason offers his big, muscular hand. Ben shakes it. Interior juice shop, later. Mason and Ben sit at a table drinking gigantic protein shakes.
It's really cool what you're doing in there. To see you working out.
Well, you know, there's only 3 years till Tokyo.
Tokyo?
The Olympics.
You were competing in the Olympics? What event?
No, it was a joke.
Okay, it was a good one. Listen, there was a reason I invited you here, other than the great protein shakes.
Okay.
And I promise this isn't gonna get weird.
Isn't that a weird promise to make?
I wanted to talk to you about love of Jesus Christ.
This is not where Ben thought this was going.
I'm good, thanks.
No. Okay, look, I think you're a really cool guy, and I want to try something with you, if it's okay.
Without waiting for the okay, Mason leans in and places his hands on Ben's thighs.
I want to heal you.
Ben is stunned. He can't say anything. Mason closes his eyes and starts to pray.
Dear Lord, please help Ben make the mind-body connection. Please bring healing into his legs.
It is taking everything within Ben to not burst into laughter. But Mason's so earnest about this, he rubs Ben's thighs deeply and then opens his eyes.
You feel anything?
Your hands on my thighs.
Suddenly, Mason begins to convulse. He's thrashing all over the place, his hands still firmly planted up Ben's thighs.
Mason, are you okay?
Lord, please, make room in Ben's heart for the new vision of his life.
Finally, the thrashing stops. Mason comes to as if out of a daze. He looks at Ben for a long, quiet moment, and then...
How about now?
With that, Ben leans forward and takes Mason's face in his hands. He kisses him passionately with his eyes closed. When they finally pull away, they're both stunned. Desperate to fill the awkward silence, Ben grabs his shake and takes a big, giant sip.
That's some good protein.
Exterior juice shop later. Ben and Mason stand in front of the juice shop. There's an awkward amount of space between them. They're not saying anything, and Ben in particular looks incredibly uncomfortable. A car pulls up in front of them. Mason checks his phone and motions to his lift. Fuck over.
This is me.
Okay, thanks for everything.
Are you walking?
Yeah, it's fine. I live around the block.
Mason nods and heads for the lift. But then, just as he opens the door, he turns back to Ben, calling out,
How cool would it be if it really works? If the Lord really, fixed you?
I might make those Olympics after all.
And even if you don't, at least you made a friend.
Yeah, I did.
With that, Mason hops in the car and takes off. Ben stands there a moment, laughing to himself and shaking his head. And then he walks home. Cut to black.
3 years till Tokyo. That was so scintillating. I mean, in between like was there a steam room scene? Did I make that up? I mean, in my mind, I saw a steam room scene like at the gym. I mean, between that and like the inner thigh, like massage convulsions. I'm just wondering, Brian, if your director might turn this into a porn. Is there Christian porn? Is that a thing? Does anybody know? There's Mormon porn. I know this because I was doing comedy coaching for this like brain scientist who used to be a Mormon. And then like in the middle of our session, he was like, I want to show you something. And like, he turned this like porn on because he wanted to show me like how they're wearing the sacramental outfits, but it's like, I mean, they immediately take them off and then it's just like a straight porn. And so then it's like, we're just watching pornography together. And I was like, oh, like I'm a comedian, not a call girl. Anyways, the next script is the intervention of Josh Quintero, based on a story told by Christopher Rivas. While on a big trip with a summer camp, the counselors start a game to see which kid can steal the most stuff, which creates in Christopher an addiction to stealing and sets him down a path of stealing well into adulthood. Wow. Josh, do you want to come choose your filmmaker? M. Vincent Hayes. We already called him? Okay, you know what? That's just take that. Just keep that with you. Choose another one. Claire Vila. Yay, this is exciting. Do you want to say anything about your script, Josh? Please.
I had something planned out, but through the nervousness, I think I kind of forgot it. But I have just one thing to say. I just want to say thank you. Gary, Monty, Alex, the guys. Thank you guys for this opportunity. And as far as the script, I had one script written out already. It was a cross between Ocean's 11 and The Goonies. And as I wrote it, I read it, and I was like, this isn't it. This isn't the script. So I wrote it again over the weekend, let's say 2 weeks ago. And this is the final product. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yes.
Interior, Christopher's apartment. Christopher, a young man in his mid-20s, runs into his apartment as if someone was chasing him. He opens up his backpack and pulls out 3 packs of 5 gum and an ink cartridge box. Christopher leans against the door, still trying to catch his breath. Cuts to black. Title card, The Intervention. Christopher is still trying to catch his breath when suddenly there's a loud knock on the door. Christopher freaks out.
Who's there?
The knocking continues. Christopher opens the door and turns out that his father is standing on the other side of the door. Abraham is a heavy-set man with a jolly attitude. Christopher is confused to see his father at this time.
Hey, son. Dad? What are you doing here? You know what time it is?
Abraham walks inside.
Let's talk in the other room.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, Dad. I just a bit freaked out and confused on...
When Abraham leads Christopher to the living room, Christopher stops talking in shock to find 3 people sitting down waiting for him. We can't see them. We can only see their silhouettes. Christopher identifies 1 woman, 1 man, and 1 child.
Hi? Okay, what's going on? Who are all y'all?
Well, glad to see everyone seated already, so let's talk.
Dad, who are these people?
Christopher, you have had one heck of a life, and, well, we are all here because we care about you, and we want you to know how we can help with your addiction.
One of the silhouettes speaks up. This is the child who sounds to be 13 years old.
It's a drug problem, Abraham. You got some kind of drug problem, man.
Let's not speak out of context here.
But I'm not finished. You know that drugs are very bad for you. You're supposed to say no in a firm voice, but you can beat it. With everyone else, everyone's help here, you can beat it.
Okay, hold on, wait. Is some kind of intervention?
Think of it as an opportunity to overcome.
Okay, look, I don't know what this is. I don't know who everyone is, and I'm not some kind of drug addict, so if y'all can just leave my house with your intervention bullshit.
It's an opportunity to overcome.
Okay, You say it again, I'm gonna throw a fucking chair at your face.
The second silhouette finally speaks out. This is the man, who sounds to be around mid-30s, who appears to be wearing a security guard's uniform.
Calm down, Christopher. You're a lot jumpier than the last time we met.
Okay, you mind telling me who you are?
Listen, hold on. We've all written a letter of what we are all feeling and what you've made us all feel. And, well, Emily will read it out loud.
The third and last silhouette speaks out. It's the woman we now know is named Emily. She's in her mid-20s.
I really don't want to read it anymore.
Give it here, I'll read it.
Abraham hands the letter over to the man.
Dear Christopher, we want to start off by saying
Christopher runs over and snatches the letter from his hands. He then crumbles it and rips it. Christopher tries to remain calm.
So I steal shit. That's my big addiction? Huge surprise, right? So tell me, what do you guys plan on doing, huh? How do you plan on helping me?
I thought you stopped after the Rite Aid incident.
No, Dad. Obviously I didn't. Only told you so you get off my ass about it.
Jesus.
Abraham hangs his head in denial.
But the camp counselors told us not to steal after we got caught.
Holy shit! Robbie, we were only kids. The counselors told us it was some kind of game. That's it.
A game? This was only a game to you?
Emily, calm down. The thing is, you kept on doing it, and eventually I was the one who caught you.
Oh, shit! You're the guy Target who tackled me down.
Yeah, name's Phil. I remember that day all too well. There you were, just a kid with a big afro and an open ink cartridge dripping down your pants. You were so afraid. Maybe it was the fact that you got caught, or the sudden realization that everyone was going to find out what you do. You were so damn lucky the cops never showed up.
I remember that day.
Emily, if you want to say something, now would be a great time to do so.
Emily Wong, I remember you. All I took from you was a stupid Metro card that could have been easily replaced.
You still think it's a game? You still have a mind of a child.
It was a fucking Metro card.
It was my way home. It was my way to see my dying mother. The day you took my Metro card, there was no way of me getting home on time. By the time I got home, my mother was already gone. And for what? Heard you managed to sell the card for $60.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I had no idea that was happening. I guess the truth is I'm afraid. So I guess I'm afraid that I'm living a life knowing I didn't do enough.
Abraham and the others move in closer towards Christopher.
It's not too late to stop. You're given another chance.
Another opportunity.
Christopher gives Robbie a look of annoyance.
Sorry.
You can beat this.
We'll help you along the way.
Now wake up. Wake up.
Christopher wakes back up into the real world. He then sits at the edge of his bed thinking of what just took place. Fades to black. Interior, Target day. Christopher is walking down the office supply aisle. He then stops at the section where they are selling printer ink. Christopher looks around to see if anyone is watching him. He then pulls out the cartridge of ink he stole previously and pulls it out of his jacket slowly.
You plan on buying that, right?
Yeah?
You should. It's buy one, get the other off. 40% off. Practically a steal.
The security guard pats Christopher on the arm and walks away. Cuts to black. After credits scene, Christopher is walking out of Target. Then all of a sudden, Christopher hears a loud scream. Christopher turns around and sees that the security guard has tackled a young man from stealing.
Oh, shit!
Chris walks the other direction in a slow motion. The end.
The intervention. Josh, there were so many great lines in that, like the Rite Aid incident. Like everybody has a Rite Aid incident. Which, by the way, do you know at Rite Aid, they put the Plan B like behind the cashier, so you have to ask for it, and then everyone in line knows that you're getting Plan B because they want to shame you, and it costs $50. That's what my friend told me. Do you guys remember that show, Intervention? It's like, how stupid were those addicts? Because at the beginning of every episode, they'd be like, we told Lucy that we were doing a documentary about addiction. And it's like, I was like, how many documentaries about addiction do you think there are, Lucy? Speaking of drugs, you guys enjoying my drug-induced ramblings? Just really like the fear and loathing of storytelling shows. Okay. The One That I Want by Lily Ladewig. Lily, do you want to come choose your filmmaker? Based on a true story told by Rhea Seehorn. When her 4th grade boyfriend dumps her and she becomes the target of the other kids in the class, Rhea decides she's going to win back her guy and the respect of her class by reenacting the final number from Grease. Tamar Levine. Okay, there's an extra one here. Just put that one back. Tamar Levine.
Really good. That was correct. Well, I just want to thank everybody here at Shoot 'em Up. This is super exciting. And then also the story that Ray told was just lovely and reminded me so much of being a little kid and having fantasies of showing the world how talented I was doing interpretive dances to REM songs in my bedroom. So this was a lot of fun to write, and I tried to stick close to her story.
Woo!
Fade in. Exterior street day. A yellow school bus pulls up to the curb. Ray, 9, still squarely in that awkward, ugly duckling phase, emerges. Her eyes are red and puffy. She dashes down the sidewalk to her house. Interior house, kitchen day. Ray's mom, early 40s, works and loves hard, hums to herself while making coffee. Off screen, we hear the front door slam, then small feet scampering up the stairs.
Ray?
The sound of another door slams, this time from upstairs. Interior house, bedroom day. Ray drops her backpack on the floor and scans the many photos and posters collaging her walls. She makes a beeline for the grainy black and white photo of a cute boy that looks like it's been Xeroxed from a yearbook. A giant red heart circles the boy's smiling face. Ray pulls the photo from the wall and rips it in half. Wow, that felt good. In need of more things to destroy, Ray pulls all the textbooks out of her backpack. Their paper shopping bag covers are full of her heroine's lovesick scraws. Ray plus Duke equals love. In a fit of passion, Ray tears the textbook covers off and into tiny bits. She dives headfirst onto her twin bed and sobs. A tentative knock on the door. Interior house, hallway continuous. Mom stands outside Ray's room.
Ray, what happened?
Go away.
You know you can talk to me about anything. Were those kids mean to you again?
Just leave me alone, please.
Mom goes for the doorknob, then thinks better of it.
Don't listen to what anyone says. They're just jealous.
This is the last straw. Outraged by her mother's bizarro sense of logic, Ray hurls her pillow at the door. She misses and hits the nearby grease poster that's thumbtacked to the wall. It flutters to the floor. Ray pulls herself out of bed and picks up the poster. Wiping her tears, she stares at John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John's smiling faces. That's when inspiration hits. She pulls up the Grease soundtrack on her laptop and hits play. We hear that classic guitar riff from the title track, followed by a crooning Frankie Valli as we cut to interior Ray's house montage. Ray digs through all the clothes in her closet, desperately searching for something black. The finale number from Grease plays on YouTube as Ray mimics the choreography in front of her laptop. Ray tries on a navy shirt in front of the mirror. She stretches its neck as wide as possible to reveal her bird-like shoulders. It keeps popping back. Ray wobbles around in a pair of hush puppy wedge sandals. She attempts some tentative dance steps. Mom is in the living room, asleep in front of the TV. Ray tiptoes past and sneaks into the kitchen. She pockets a handful of fruit punch high C packets from the cabinet. In the bathroom, Ray mixes the red powder with a little water and applies it to her lips and cheeks. She admires her work in the mirror and mimes smoking a cigarette.
Tell me about it, stud.
Ray, back in her bedroom, is getting better and better at her dance moves. Now in her nightgown, Ray finishes plaiting her wet hair into dozens of small braids. With the eagerness of a kid on Christmas Eve, she climbs into bed and turns out the light. End montage. Exterior street day. From our vantage point at Ray's front door, we watch the school bus pull up. Exterior elementary school day. A tracking shot from Ray's point of view as she disembarks the bus. Each group of students that she walks past stop and stare at her. Mouths agape. A snide 5th grade girl turns to her friend, whispers into her ear, and giggles. Close on Ray's smiling face as she basks in the attention of her fellow students. She's about to blow their minds. Interior elementary school hallway continuous. Still from Ray's point of view, more little kids turn and gape as Ray approaches her classroom. 4th grade is written above the door in sparkly paint. She peeks through the window to see her classmates huddled in the middle of the room. Interior classroom continuous. The door swings open and Ray saunters in. We finally get to see her in her full Olivia Newton-John glory, and she looks incredible. She's wearing black leather pants, a black off-the-shoulder top, and red high heels. Her curly blonde hair is perfectly coiffed. When Ray's classmates see her, they part like the Red Sea and reveal Duke, 9, as cute as his photo, but with his hair slicked into a pompadour. He's the splitting image of John Travolta in black pants and a black t-shirt. He sees Ray and his jaw drops. It's working. Like magic, the opening bass line of You're the One That I Want plays from a loudspeaker above the teacher's empty desk. Overcome with a newfound love for Ray, Duke jumps out of his chair and starts singing.
I've got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying is electrifying.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true.
Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want.
You are the one I want.
The joyous scene is interrupted by the harsh sound of a record scratch. Smash 2, the real Ray stands in the doorway wearing brown corduroys, that sad stretched out navy shirt, and hush puppy sandals. Her hair is a frizzy mess. The class stares in bewilderment. Duke, now in blue jeans and a SpongeBob SquarePants t-shirt, breaks the ice.
Did you stick your finger in a light socket?
Snickers, the meanest of the mean girls, Jenny M9, sits in the front row.
Oh my God. Did you think if you came back dressed up sexy, that Duke would change his mind and take you back?
Speechless, how did she know? All Ray can do is nod yes, and the whole class erupts into laughter.
But I had a song.
This prompts the class to laugh even more. A loud bell shuts the kids up. Everyone scurries to their seats. Mortified, Ray slowly makes her way to the back row. She sits behind Andrea R, 10, the prettiest girl in class. Andrea wears only pink and purple. It's kind of her thing. Andrea swivels around to Ray.
Are you gonna cry? It looks like you're gonna cry. I don't think you can hold it in. It's bubbling up. It's in your eyes right now. Your nose is getting red. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes!
Ray grips her desk and looks down, blinking back the tears. And then something miraculous happens. Ray is rocked by the kind of revelation that would make her mother proud. She would rather be her dorky self than a popular mean girl. Summoning the maturity of someone 3 times her age, Ray lifts her head and meets her tormentor's gaze.
Andrea, you're just jealous.
The end.
The one that I want! Did you guys know you were gonna see a musical tonight? That was amazing, Michelle. It all came back to me, watching Grease as a kid, 2,500 times maybe. And it's so crazy, it's if you watch that film now, the high schoolers are clearly 35 years old. Which seems vaguely perverse. And Lily, I still feel like that. I still feel like I'll show you all one day. Anyways, The Taking Car by Ron Hart, based on a story told by Monte LaMonte. Monty buys his dream car in order to meet women and be cool, but the car becomes a money pit, costing him a lot more than he paid for it and never helps him meet any girls. Ron's not here tonight. Do you want to choose his filmmaker? No, that's not. No. Go for a smaller piece of paper.
Patrick O'Connor.
Okay, you keep on. Woo!
There's a little quid pro quo on the front of this, with some outright theft from the Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Exterior residential driveway day. A gently used 1971 Coupe de Ville sits on a driveway. A for sale sign in the rear window. This once glorious driving machine is showing its age. Monty, 25, t-shirt, jeans, walks up to the car with the owner, a woman in her 70s. The narrator speaks with an earnest and sentimental voice. Imagine Morgan Freeman telling you about the brave little penguins.
Once there was a car.
Monty is very impressed with what he sees. He gives owner a thick stack of bills. Owner seems shocked to be making the sale and drops a key into Monty's hand.
And she loved a little boy.
Interior coupe, moving various streets, montage. A series of shots of Monty driving the coupe. He's very obviously trying to find the coolest way to sit as he drives.
And every day the boy would ride in his beautiful whip, and he would roll down his windows and shoot finger guns at the girls and practice his best pimpling.
In quick succession, we see Monty shooting finger guns at a pack of girls on the sidewalk. They're not impressed. Looking at a cute girl in the car next to him at a red light and pulling his shades down to wink. She's not impressed. Driving slowly past a group of tough-looking guys in an actual muscle car. Monty shoots them a sup head nod. They are not impressed. Monty driving, he's now perfected his pimpling.
He'd drive her all day.
Interior gas station, cash register various times. In quick succession, Monty, in a few different outfits as this is taking place over days, hands a bored gas station cashier a 5, a 20, a 50, another 20, a 10, a 20.
And when she would get thirsty, he'd fill her belly with his dollars.
Interior coupe, moving highway, night. A visibly drunk Monty tries to keep the door in the lane as he squints through one eye.
And they would drive home at night. And when he was drunk, she would pull hard to the left because of a bad alignment job. And the boy would wake up.
Monty's one sober eye finally shuts. The car jumps lanes. Special effects rumble strip. Special effects honking. Monty springs up, fully alert. He rubs her dashboard. Good girl.
And the boy loved the car very much. And the car was happy.
Interior repair shop day. The car is in the shop with the hood open. Monty stands next to a mechanic in an oil-stained jumpsuit who points to different spots around the engine.
But time went by, and the car wasn't used to being driven so much, and the car needed a new water pump, and a head gasket, and timing belt, and a bunch of other shit.
Mechanic hands a stunned Monty an estimate. Quick cut to Monty handing an incredulous mechanic a thick stack of bills.
And the boy fixed her with his dollars, and the car was happy.
Interior coupe, moving city street night. Monty drives past girls. He waves. They are not impressed.
Then one day the boy turned to the car and said,
Dude, I gotta get laid.
and the car said,
Oh, boy, I understand. Make me your pussy magnet.
Interior repair shop day. The mechanic puts new wheels and tires on the car.
Give me new rims.
Interior paint shop day. A painter sprays a new coat of paint on the car.
Make me shine like when I was young.
Interior repair shop day. Mechanic listens in disbelief to Monty.
And line my exhaust with a MagnaFlow glass pack so I sound like a Harley having sex with a Camaro.
Exterior parking lot night. Monty revs the pimped out coupe's engine. Special effects, absurdly loud engine noises.
I'll roar so loud they'll be dropping panties 3 states away.
Two boys who basically look exactly like Monty walk by and they nod approvingly at the sound. Monty drives away. Interior repair shop day. Mechanic is at the register. Monty hands him the biggest stack of bills yet. Mechanic smiles.
We'll get your wick dipped, and you will be happy.
Interior coupe moving city streets day. Monty tries to drive slowly past a group of cute girls. They cover their ears and shoo him away.
But the panties never dropped.
A cop car starts following the coupe. The flashing lights come on. Monty hangs his head, defeated.
And the glass pack wasn't street legal.
Exterior driveway day. Monty washes the coupe.
And the car was happy.
Monty sticks a for sale sign in the rear window. As Monty exits, the frame is exactly like the first shot. In a series of cuts, we see time pass. The sun rises and sets in quick motion. Monty walks past, shaking his head. Dust accumulates on the car.
But the boy stayed away for a long time. The boy didn't put his dollars into her belly or fix her seals, even though she leaked transmission fluid on his driveway. And the car was sad.
The sun rises. Monty walks up to the car with Mechanic.
And then one day, the boy came back with a different boy.
Mechanic pulls a thick stack of bills out of his pocket. Monty eagerly holds out his hand.
With different dollars.
Mechanic peels off 1, 2, 3, 4, $500 bills. Monty waits, expecting more. But Mechanic puts the stack in his pocket. Monty slumps in resignation.
And the boy was sad.
Monty hands Mechanic the keys.
And the new boy took the car away.
Exterior street moving. Mechanic drives the coupe. He stops at a red light and sees cute girl in a car next to him. He lowers his shades. Interior coupe later. Mechanic drives, his arm around cute girl.
And the panties dropped.
Exterior street dusk. The coupe is parked on a quiet road overlooking the lights of the city. It rocks up and down from the activity inside.
And the car was happy.
Fade out.
The taking car. That was like Knight Rider, the porn. There's a lot of pornography here this evening at Open Space. That March of the Penguins voiceover was so good. I love that dramatic reading of like, and the panties dropped. That's what I'm gonna call my autobiography. And the panties dropped, a memoir. I feel like the guys don't really think it through, the whole idea of like getting like a car that attracts women. So I had this friend in New York and he used to like drive his Range Rover really slowly through like the meatpacking district and tell girls to get in, which is how he met his wife. And like before they got married, he's like, she would never be with me if I didn't have money. And I was like, is this a surprise? Yes.
Can I just say, I don't drink, just for the record. I know he put that in the script, but I probably have had like 3 beers in my whole life, and I never finished one. I just don't want people to think I drink alcohol.
I don't think anybody thought that was like a documentary. But thank you for clarifying. Are you guys ready for your final script of the evening? Fire Escape by Anne Brashier, based on a story told by Christine Blackburn. New to LA and looking for her big break into show business, Christine goes on the dating game, all the while trying to hide that she's bald because she's receiving cancer treatments. Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yeah. Alex Linares.
Alex!
Do you want to say something about your script? Yeah, I guess I just want to thank, Gary and Monty. Thank you guys, and thank you all. And yeah, thanks to Christine. I don't think I see. She couldn't be here tonight. She's fine, you guys. She's totally fine. Just to be clear. But yeah, thanks to her for having such a rich, vast, awesome story. So. Woo!
Exterior office balcony day. The fire escape door bursts open and Cassidy runs out onto the balcony, gasping for air. Late 20s, tiger tank top and tight black pants, blonde wig. She puts her hands on her knees, panting. She gazes out to the Hollywood sign, then realizes she is not alone on the balcony. We see Flip Guillory's back, sport coat, balding dyed brown hair, meaty shoulders.
Oops. Excuse me, I didn't think anyone would be up here.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh my golly, you're Flip Guillory, the host of The Love Game. I'm a huge fan. It's such an honor to be a contestant on the show and to meet you in person. Wow.
Did you have a PA to wrangle you and keep you away from the blow?
Lori, the producer, told us we had at least an hour before...
Why are you in a wig?
Lori told me it was fine.
Did Lori send you out here to get me?
No. I just, I got so nervous in that makeup room. It's really bright in there, and I was just getting psyched out by the other bachelorettes. Do you still get nervous before tapings? Because you always seem like a total professional, cool, calm, ready with a quip. If you need your space, if you have like a pre-show ritual, that's... You know what, I'll go.
She goes to open the door, but it's locked.
Oh dear. Mr. Flip, do you have the key?
What did you do with the paper?
What paper?
The one that keeps the door propped open.
Picking up a wad of paper at her feet.
Oh golly, Mr. Flip. Help! Hello! Help us!
Jesus.
Well, they have to come get you before they film, right? They can't do the show without Flip Guillory. You are The Love Game.
Well, that settles it.
Climbing up to sit on the ledge.
What's your name?
Cassidy? Like Butch Cassidy?
Ever seen anyone die, Cassidy?
Yes.
Goldfish don't count.
She really doesn't want to tell this story.
A very good friend of mine, she was really sick. Is there maybe a staircase I can...
My son's getting married. He doesn't want me to come to the wedding. Ungrateful shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must hurt.
And my ex had to tell me 3 ex-wives and 1 lousy son.
She goes closer to him on the balcony, looks down.
Wow. We are up high. It's a little terrifying, right?
Cassidy, do you believe in God?
I have a complex relationship with spirituality. I think it's comforting to believe in one-to-one correlations between you do good deeds and good things happen, but sometimes awful things happen to people who don't do anything wrong at all. And I think it's hard to know why the world is so unfair, but also so full of hope. So I usually say I'm more spiritual than anything else. I think life is too short to live by anyone else's rules.
Spoken like a real wannabe actress. How old are you?
27.
You want to find your Prince Charming, Cassidy?
Sure.
Then get the hell out of this studio. Get out of L.A.
He moves to jump off.
Well, wait! Okay, listen. Flip, I am sure that things look bleak and that you're sad about your son, but the great thing about life is that it can change at any time.
He snorts, then turns back to face the ledge.
Wait, please!
She rips off her wig.
My friend who died, she was next to me in the cancer ward for 13 months. I was there. We were on the same chemo rotation. She was 24 and she was just about to get married.
You're not cheering me up.
We watched every single episode of Law and Order ever made on that hospital TV, and I really thought I was going to die. I made a will and picked out funeral songs. I spent my 25th birthday single, bald, puking into a nurse's hands. So I get it. I get wanting to pack it all in.
You know, you really suck at this.
Just wait! So I get this magical chance to have one more time, and maybe I'm here not to find my Prince Charming, but to save your life.
What?
I don't know why I got to stay alive and she didn't. But I know that you don't have to keep doing the things that don't make you happy. It's too short. We get one fucking chance at this, and if you jump off a building when things get tough, well, maybe you don't deserve the chance you get.
Screw you, Cassidy.
Lori, all business, wearing a headset and holding a huge bouquet of roses, bursts through the door.
Flip, no fucking the contestants. We went over this.
Oh, we're not.
Cancer girl, where's your wig? You tape next.
Damn it, Lori. She was wondering, where's her Wrangler?
Sorry, Flip. We need to get mic'd up. Come on, people.
What are the flowers for?
Oh, Flip. You remember the Mormon guy and the Irish chick from a few seasons ago?
Donnie and Charlotte?
How do you do that? Anyways, they just celebrated their second wedding anniversary, and since they met on the show, well, I thought, I know it's cheesy, but I thought you could present these on the next episode. I mean, they wrote this dopey note and everything.
God damn it.
He gets down from the ledge.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Cancer Girl. Actually, lose a wig. You look kind of punk rock. All right, let's go, people. Come on.
She ushers Flip and Cassidy out the exit door and back onto the set. The door slams behind them. End.
The fire escape! Oh my God, that was like we really went on a roller coaster, all the highs and lows of the human experience. And that was like a Shonda Rhimes show. That was amazing. You guys, that's our show tonight. Thank you so much for coming. Please give it up for all our amazing writers, all our fantastic actors, our producers, Gary and Monty. Come see us next month for the films. It's the wrong date and place on here, so refer to your flyer, if you will, please. It's going to be on Thursday, September 28th at El Cid in Silver Lake. Don't come here. Go to Silver Lake. See you next month. Thank you.